Welcome to Podnutz Daily, episode number 287. Actually, Jose, can you give me a check 1, 2, 3 real quick?
Sure. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Testing 1 2 3.
One more time.
Testing 1
Okay.
2 3.
There we go. It's
Check
perfect.
1 2.
Perfect. Welcome to Podnutz Daily, episode number 287. In today's show, we are going to have a computer repair technician come on and tell you some cool stuff, cool tips, cool tricks, methods, techniques, and whatever else he would like to impart to you. And that's the way we do it on this show. We bring techs on to help you in your computer repair endeavors. Let me introduce our co-host for today. It is Jose Quezada from ComputerDoctor.com, and that's computer with a Q. Qomputer. Jose, how's it going?
Hey, Steve. It's going good. How about you?
I'm doing great. Not
Good.
bad. What's happening over there?
Oh, nothing. Just been trying to get ready for the holidays and everything and trying to be as busy as I can, but still manage to get through.
Yeah? How's business?
Believe it or not, it was actually a couple of weeks ago. It was pretty good. I mean, I got like way more than normal repair jobs. I think I had 10 of them in like about 2 weeks, but now it went back down to like about 2 per week or less.
Oh, man. Like I said it before, I'll say it again. I mean, some might say, Steve, you don't know what you're talking about on this, but I just, in my experience, when I did steady advertising, the weeks would be up and down. They would be up and down. Some weeks you'd have like a ton of jobs, and next week it would slow down. And it would be cyclic, and it would always average out, so there's no cause for alarm, but that's just the way that business went for me. Are you experiencing that? Yeah, experiencing that too?
Oh yeah, definitely. And the funny thing is that sometimes, like I told you the last time I was on the show, sometimes I don't even put out my little flyers or anything for maybe 2 to 3 weeks at a time, and I still get calls, and like I told you, most people are, referrals or, word of mouth advertising. But then when it kind of slows down too much, I say, you know what, I got to do another round and go put up my flyers.
Yeah, that's pretty smart.
Yeah.
Well, are all those books back there ones that you've read, or are you just like showing off your library?
I'm just showing off. I wish I would have read at least half of them.
I know.
I use them for research more. Like if I really have to look for something that I can't really find, I know I should be able to find everything online, but sometimes when I want to get deeper into a subject, I open one of them and look into that.
Yeah. Yeah, I started collecting books like that, and then one day I woke up and I said, all right, no more books. I got rid of all of them, and I said, whatever I want, I'm just going to get on my Kindle. It was, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm kind of old-fashioned. I like physical books. I don't know why. I really do.
Yeah, you're not the only one. All right, what do you want to talk about today?
Well, let me see. I got a couple of jobs here that they're probably not as weird as the last time that I was on, but I think they're probably pretty interesting. And then I have a couple of tips at the end that hopefully will help out with is talking about like the things that we overlook, the very simple things that we sometimes don't even think about because we're so into, the complicated stuff. So
Sure.
The first one I want to talk to you guys about is I had and I meant to do the research on this and I forgot the model number of the laptop, but I had a Fujitsu laptop. It was an N series. That's all I remember, and it had a bad video chip on it. So when I turned it on, all I could see was like white lines going down the screen.
Right.
And I tried an external monitor and I had the same problem. So I knew that it was something to do with the actual video chip in there.
Right.
And so I ordered a motherboard. I told the customer I was going to have to order a motherboard and got the motherboard in and I put it in everything, put the laptop back together. And after putting it all back together, I try to turn it on and it doesn't turn on. I'm like, oh boy, okay, it's going to be fun again. So I start tinkering with the cables, make sure that I didn't miss anything. And I tried to like reseat the power ribbon cable again, and no, it doesn't turn on. After like 15-20 minutes of trying, I got it to turn on one time and it just turned on and turned off again. So I said, this doesn't look right. So I took it all apart again. I put the old one in, I put the power connector and everything, and it turned right on like the first time. So I said, okay, something is really, really wrong with that motherboard. So I called the seller up. And he told me, you know what, it was good. We tested it and it was okay. But he sent me another one. Actually, I met him in Sacramento because he was coming down from San Jose, which is like 3.5 hours away.
Right.
So he brought me another one. I gave him the old one back, came back home, tried to put it on again. And this one, I didn't get it to turn on not even one time. So I was like, wow, what's really going on here?
Huh.
And so I did the same thing again, tried again. I was like, okay, I know I'm not a complete expert, but I know what I'm doing.
Right.
So I tried everything again, I couldn't get it to turn on, not even once this one. The other one, I think I got it to turn on at least twice. So go back to the old one again, boom, it turns on the first time. So I said, this can't be happening. So I called them up again. Actually, I emailed them and I tell him, you know what? I don't know what's going on here, but this motherboard doesn't work either. So he's like, are you serious? Because we test them out and they were working. And I said, well, I don't know how to explain it to you. I mean, I tried the old one and it works. I try yours and they don't work. And he's like, well, maybe it's the ribbon cable. But by then I had already thought about that possibility. So I had already ordered a ribbon cable and the power bar that goes on top of the keyboard.
Right.
So then, I got his second one in, and then I got the power bar and the ribbon cable by the time I got the third motherboard.
Oh, he sent you another one?
Sure, go ahead.
No, he sent you another one?
We traded again. He came back down like 2 weeks later again.
Damn, nice guy.
I got another. Yeah, but and it actually didn't matter to the customer. It was one of those that it's been broken for a year, so he didn't care.
Right.
So all right, so I got the third one, and by then I had already got the ribbon cable and everything, but I tried it with with the old one again, and everything was working fine. So then I put in the new ribbon cable and everything, and it still wasn't working.
All right.
So I told them, you know what? I already tried it with a different ribbon cable, a different power bar, and it's still not working. And it works perfectly fine with the original motherboard. So something is wrong with these. So believe it or not, I told him, you know what? Just if you have another one, send me another one, and that's it. That's the last time. If it doesn't work, then that's it. I'm gonna tell the customer I couldn't find a motherboard, but it worked. The third one actually worked.
No.
But I had to go to 3 motherboards. I was so frustrated already. I was like, this is when you just think about like, I don't want to do laptops anymore. But
I know.
No, it worked out, and I actually just got frustrated from taking apart the laptop so many times and putting it back together.
Yeah, and oh gosh, I would too. I went through a Toshiba like that. But now here's the thing. It kind of interests me. Was he? What was his reaction? I mean, I guess obviously when he kept giving you motherboards, he wasn't saying, "No way, dude. We took back the last one you gave us and we tested it and it worked. So there's no way we're giving you another one." He didn't say that maybe because he wasn't testing them.
Probably, but the thing about it is they work for a company that actually brings a lot of repair work to a big shop that's down here in Sacramento, and they actually bring a lot of work over here. That's why he came over to Sacramento every couple of weeks. So they have a pretty big business going, as far as repairing laptops. And it's a business like kind of like the Geek Squad, but it's another company called, I don't know if you want me to say the name or not, but
yeah, what is it?
It's Tech to You.
Tech to You.
And they're out here in Sacramento. They have a lot of locations out here.
Really?
Yeah. But either way, the bottom line is that he just kind of, I think he felt like I didn't know what I was doing, but he didn't want to just say it or tell me.
I see.
Yeah, but he exchanged it 3 times, and the third one was the charm.
That is amazing, man.
That's what I said.
After the third one, I would, man, you probably went through it already, but I would think that I'm doing something wrong. I really would.
I did.
Good job on persisting on that. That's amazing. It's a good one.
And the only reason I kept persisting is because if the original one was working with the regular power cable in the power bar, I figured something must be wrong with the motherboard.
It had to be. So you were swapping the RAM and processor and everything into the new motherboard?
Everything. Well, I only had one processor, but yeah.
Wow.
Yes. No, actually, no. I did have another processor that fit in that socket, so I tried that too.
It's amazing.
It wasn't the cause.
Good one. I like it so far.
Okay, and speaking of that, kind of related to that experience, I remember you had the problems with Screen Aid or Laptop Aid, which is the same company?
It was Laptop Z and Screen Aid.
Laptop Z.
They were the same company. They're different eBay usernames. Laptop Z, something, and Screen Aid. Yeah. Oh gosh, I remember.
Okay, well, I had the opportunity to buy something from them, which was a monitor for HP DV5.
Oh, this ought to be good.
The LCD, yeah, but it was good actually, believe it or not. Basically what happened was I ordered the screen, and it was a different resolution widescreen, okay, for the laptop.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I ordered the part number, I didn't go by the numbers in back of the LCD screen. I went by the little sticker that HP puts on them, order part number, whatever.
Right.
So I ordered that part number, and I get the screen, and I turned it on, and I could see the backlight come on, but nothing on the screen, no picture or anything. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe is it defective or whatever. But I didn't really realize that they make so many different screens of different resolutions for the same laptop or the same size. So that's what happened. And after, I emailed them and told them it's not working. I sent him a picture of the old one that was perfectly working, and even though it was all cracked, but it had the picture and everything on it. So I said, it's not the inverter, so it works. And so they told me, okay, send it back in and everything, and then we'll, give me those numbers. So once I disassembled the laptop again, I took a picture of all the little labels on back of the monitor and sent them in to them. And then they told me, oh, it's the wrong one. That's why it didn't work. So they sent me the right one, and it worked, and I had no problems with them. I just wanted to say, it was a good experience that I had with them, but they waited until, of course, they received the other monitor before they sent me back the new one.
Right.
So I just wanted to kind of bring that up, and I guess not every experience with them is a horrible one.
They suck. Do not do business with them.
I know, huh? I mean, you went through a lot more with them. I understand that.
I will never do business with them. I will never recommend them. Jose, you could come on every week, and say, I just had another great experience with ScreenAid, and I will still not recommend them.
It doesn't make up for all the bad ones you had, huh?
Yeah, well, it wasn't the number of bad. There was actually 2 bad orders where they shipped me parts that just didn't fit. But the screen thing was just over the edge.
Totally wrong, huh?
Totally wrong.
Yeah, but the reason I ordered for them, I think if I would have looked at the buyer, I probably wouldn't have bought it because I would have remembered, the bad experiences. But honestly, I didn't even look. I think the reputation was pretty good, and I said, okay, let's buy it.
That's because they blackmail you into doing it. I forget how it went down, but they wouldn't refund my money until I removed the negative feedback.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yep, they suck.
See, that's not right. I've had a couple of experiences. I had one guy who I ordered what was it? I ordered something from him. I can't recall exactly what it was right now, but I told him, how come you took 5 days to tell me that you barely received my payment? Normally I get an email within a couple of hours saying, we received your payment, and the following day, your item has been shipped. And this guy here, he took him like 5 days just to say your payment was received. And then I said, really? So when am I going to get the product? And then he's like, oh, I'm shipping it. Well, it took another 3 days to actually get the email that says it was shipped.
Right.
And so it took a long time. It took like about a week and 5 days, almost 2 weeks. And then I gave him negative feedback for very, very slow shipping, right? Or very slow response. And then he's like, oh, why do you put that on my feedback and this and that? I said, because I said, you're the longest person that has ever taken to respond to my pain to ship out the product. So anyways, what he did was like, you know what? I'm really sorry. I was in the hospital and this and that. I was like, well, you could have at least explained or told me something, Don't just take your sweet time doing that.
And that's how it ended up?
Yeah, I think that I was okay. I said, okay, if he really was in the hospital, I changed my feedback or whatever.
Did you change it?
Yes, I did.
Oh, man, maybe that's true or maybe not. But you're right. He was at fault. He should have at least explained that. The thing about eBay is, I mean, it's a community of buyers. So like, you have to warn others, I think. So though it might be uncomfortable to put negative feedback for people, I think it needs to be done. Now, I'm at fault here personally. I'm going to admit, because I never leave feedback for anybody. Like it goes out of my mind as soon as I get the product. I'm like, oh, this is great, and then I just never leave feedback on eBay. Positive, but I might actually even negative if it made me mad enough. But I think it's much easier to leave negative than positive, in the fact that negative sticks in your mind and you want to do something about it. You want to get back at them, retaliate. Whereas positive, you're just like, everything's fine. I'll get to it later. So you don't try to do it. It just doesn't quite happen that way.
Yeah, but it's like everything else. It's much easier to let out the bad than to let out the good.
Yeah, exactly.
Because, so. All right. Well, that's it for them for ScreenAid. Another little thing. I don't know I don't think I mentioned it last time, and I really only have heard it mentioned maybe once or twice, but when you get those jobs that are extremely very difficult to remove viruses, or something is really wrong in the system and nothing else will remove it, or it seems like there's no way out of it except to reinstall.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I've had a couple of jobs like that web antivirus. I don't know if you ever heard of Dr. Web antivirus.
I've heard of it.
Um, they have a little. They also have a bootable live CD, and they have a little standalone. Just installed, or it doesn't even install. It just runs. And then you do a scan. Well, I had a couple of jobs, and these were like a long time ago, but I didn't talk about it. And there were some files, like Windows files, that obviously can be removed because then Windows won't boot. And this is the only antivirus that was able to clean them out. That it said, "Do you want to clean them or heal them?" And I was like, "Yeah," and nothing else could do it. So when this program claimed that it was done, I was kind of skeptical. So I was like, "Nah, I don't think so." So I boot up the system, and sure enough, everything was totally normal. And I think it's a pretty good antivirus. And
How did
it's a
you
full.
how did you start using it? I'm curious.
It was probably about, oh God, a year no, more than a year ago, probably a year and 3 months ago. Um, when I encountered that transforming virus called oh God, I forgot the name of it now. It's one of those polymorphic viruses that infected all the executable files.
Oh, well, Virut,
Uh,
Virut.
Virut, exactly that one. Okay, well that guy, I got all infected. My computer got infected because I connected a computer to my network and I forgot to disconnect my computer from the network.
Right.
So when I was done with his computer, I come back to use mine, and right away AVG started, crying, threat detected, and I saw Virut and I was like, oh no, it can't be.
Yes.
So that's how through all the research and everything that I tried to clean out my computer before having to reinstall, um, I came up upon this, and it actually claimed to remove Virut also, but it still came back after it. I rebooted and everything, and it seemed like it was clean, but then it started coming back. But other computers that had those problems with Windows files that were infected, this is the only one that was actually able to heal them. So
Unbelievable.
that's how I came upon this one.
Hang on, Jose. I'm gonna
Sure.
kick somebody's butt here for a sec. Okay. All right. All right, back.
Okay,
Ready?
ready.
Here we go.
All right. So the next little hint that I want to throw at you guys is you know how you always had that problem with or we all have that problem where we didn't want to use a USB stick because it would get the viruses on it, and you'd ruin your USB stick and go infect other computers.
Yeah.
Well, there's this little program. I'm sure probably a lot of people heard of it, but I've never heard it mentioned, so I thought I'd throw it out there. It's a little program called USB Protect. And what you can do is, put it on a CD or a mini CD or something, and then you run that little program. And basically, what it does is it doesn't allow anything to be written to a USB stick. So it makes every USB stick that you stick into that computer like if it was write protected. So you run that little program, and then you stick in your USB stick with your tools and everything, and you can't write to it. You can't do anything to it. And once you're done and everything, then you run the program again, and it says turn USB protect off, and then it's back to normal. So I thought that was kind of handy because, that way we don't have to be looking, because I tried looking for lockable one, right, protected ones, and there is none.
You mean ones that actually have a switch on them?
Yeah, actually there's a company called Kangaroo that makes them, I think, but they're way, way expensive.
Really? It's funny. They used a lot of them used to have it back then. I had an iMation one that has it. But I mean, you could still use my method of using an SD card. They still all have it. But
Yeah.
I'm trying to find USB Protect. Where did you get it?
You know what? I don't know. I just Googled USB Protect, and I found that one through a lot of research too. But let me see if I could. You can't find it right now.
Ah,
Can you see?
I did get to one, but it didn't seem like it was the file that you were talking about. But
Let me see.
that's okay. I mean, people can just do a Google for it and find it.
Yeah, I guess. I'll get you the link later then.
Yeah, no problem.
Another time.
Don't worry about it.
All right. And okay, so that comes in pretty handy. That way we don't have to be all looking for. The reason I don't want to use the SD card is because I was always looking for a little adapter, a USB adapter that was kind of, kind of cool and everything, small and everything. But most of them are pretty big and clunky and everything. and I don't want to be carrying around something like that. So I
Yeah,
mean, I know it's not that much, but
no, I know what you mean. You know what? I had an IO Gear SD card reader that I just love because it had a small little like 1-inch cable on it. Here it is. Let me just throw this up on the screen.
okay.
Oops, I moved your screen a little bit. There we go. This is the one I used. I really, really liked it. This is actually they're selling it on Amazon.
Okay.
You know, it had a little 1-inch cable, so it didn't like you could fit it into like areas, tight areas. You know what I mean? And it just the other part just hung down, so it didn't really affect anything. But it was a good little adapter. I liked it. But if you had a USB stick that was protected, how do you turn USB protect on and off? Is it just an app that runs on the stick, or?
No, you don't want to have it on the stick because that means that you would have to stick in your USB flash drive, before you make it write protect, and then that would defeat the purpose because you might get viruses on there before that.
So you have to prep it.
No, you have to put that little program. Let's say you put it on another USB stick that you don't care about, that you don't have your tools on, or you could put on a CD and then run it off the CD. It's just a little executable, tiny little executable.
I see.
And it's kind of like turning on Vista, turning user access control on and off.
I got it.
You click it on and you click it off, and that's it.
I see. That's neat. That's a good tool.
Yeah, I think it's pretty handy. I mean, I don't use it really, really a lot lately, but I use it when I have a system that looks like it's really, really bad.
Cool.
So,
good one.
Okay. Another little tool that I just came across this one not too long ago because somebody brought me a Windows 7 machine that had a password on it and they didn't know what it was, or I don't know what happened. Somebody's laptop and they took it away from them or whatever. And so I couldn't remove the password. I tried, everything we normally use. I tried NT offline registry editor. I tried conboot. I tried offcrack. And obviously I couldn't try ERD commander because that only works with Windows XP Service Pack 2 and 3.
What operating system was it you were running?
7. It was Windows 7.
Okay.
And none of them worked. I mean, I know offcrack and conboot normally work, but it just would not work with this one. I don't know why. So
wow. I've never run them on 7. You've run them on 7 before, those programs?
I did. I've tried it on my own computer, and actually when I was using Windows 7 the beta, before I actually tried it on. I put a 12-character password with all kinds of characters, numbers, and uppercase, lowercase, and it actually did crack it.
Wow.
That was with offcrack.
Nice.
Yeah, so this one here, I couldn't remove the password no matter what I tried. Every tool that I knew of up to now, and I couldn't remove it. So then I started doing some research, and during this research comes my next story, which I'm going to tell you a little bit about. But I found this little tool called PC Login.
Okay.
Just PC Login, and it's a bootable image. Also, it's like it is so small. I didn't even think it was anything. It's like, God, I think it was less than 80 kilobytes. So I was thinking, this is not going to be anything.
Is it free?
Yes, it's free.
Okay.
And I need to learn to get you links. I don't ever do that.
That's okay. Is it the one I have up on the screen now? Where it's PC Login 2.0?
They do have a paid version, I believe.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it's called. Yeah, just PC Login.
Okay, good.
But when I downloaded it, it didn't say 2.0 yet.
Oh, okay.
But this was only like 4 or 5 days ago. Okay, and so anyway, so I ran that CD in the computer, and it's kind of easy because all it does is it boots into Windows. It boots into that little CD, and you come up with a screen that has the accounts, like administrator and whatever other users there is.
Right.
So you select an account, and at the bottom it has a little thing that says, oh yeah, you have it right there where it says password is blank. Do you see that part right there where it says password is blank?
Yeah, password is empty.
Okay, that one. Then you just click on it, put apply or whatever that finalizing option is, and it just reboots the computer, and it just goes right into Windows with no password.
So, why click that? Because password was empty? I don't know.
Does it say password was empty?
No, password is empty.
That means that when you apply the changes, you want the password to be empty.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah.
And that worked, huh?
it worked. And I was like, okay, this ain't gonna work. I was already so frustrated. I told the guy, you know what? I don't think I'm gonna be able to crack this one. And when I tried this one, I almost jumped up and down with joy. I couldn't believe it.
Hey, you know what? My go-to is the NT registry and password editor, whatever it's called. But that's
Yeah,
convoluted. I mean, this is nice compared to that.
it is awesome. And you know, now that I think about it, I need to try it out on Vista, and I don't have any Vista machines right now, but I need to try it on Vista and on Windows XP also, just to see.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, let us know if that how that works. That's a great tool, man. Good find. I
It
mean, I
is
mean,
awesome.
it's kind of hard to find a good password cracker.
Yeah, but now we got four of them,
Yeah,
four good ones.
sweet.
So, all right, and like I was gonna tell you, recently I bought a Not 32 because I was using AVG forever,
Hmm.
but I found that at Fry's Electronics for $39 for the 3-user license.
Okay.
So I said, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and buy it. I've been wanting to buy it for years. I
Right.
just never did. So I bought it, I installed it and everything, and AVG did this once in a while, when you go to a page that's possibly infected and it tells you threat detected. But this one here, I mean, I was looking around, for shareware or whatever that could help me, and a lot of pages that I was going to, Not 32 was telling me, you know, this is a thread infected page or whatever, and we blocked this and we blocked that. So I would imagine it was like those drive-by websites that
Hmm.
you just by visiting the site, you're getting something on your computer, and it was doing a good job. So I just wanted to bring that up.
Was it? Does it make your computer run slow?
Oh no, you know what? To tell you the truth, it ran a scan the other day and it was running the scan while I was working and everything. I didn't even know the scan was running. So
Hmm.
I mean it's
You
I
got
think
you got like an
it's
internet
good.
security suite or just the antivirus?
No, just I never liked those internet
Yeah,
security
yeah, me
suites.
neither.
Yeah, just the antivirus 4. That's it.
Good.
But
I don't know too many people that are using Nod 32, so I'm glad you're giving us feedback on that. I mean, we have some Kaspersky fans out there and a bunch of other
mhm.
ones, but I'm curious about Nod 32 myself. I've never installed it on my own machine.
You know, to tell you the truth, I never had a problem with AVG. I've been using AVG since I think it was like version 4. I had Windows 98 still when I started using AVG. It even had a boot up scanner at that time. And it was good and I loved it. I've never had any problems. The only virus that got through it was that Virus virus. That was the only one that I ever got hit with.
It made it through AVG.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean AVG caught it, but you know how that virus worked, right? As soon as you started cleaning files, it would start infecting others.
You know
So
what though? I got Virut when I was running Norton 2009 when when I installed Norton 2009 in my shop computer just to test it before I sold it to customers.
mhm.
And Virut was big back then, and it was on a flash drive. I put the flash drive in. It was always my dad's fault. I always blamed my dad. I'd get a flash drive from him, and I'd be like, "Is it clean?" Oh yeah, and I'd throw it in. But anyway,
Yeah.
he doesn't watch the show, so
Well, what?
but
He's supposed to be a fan.
he should.
Mhm.
But Norton found it and stopped it before it had a chance to do any damage. So that's when I knew
Wow.
I was going to be happy with Norton. But
Wow. That's a good one. Yeah.
yeah,
I thought nothing got past that or nothing stopped that virus.
yeah, Norton did.
Oh, good. But anyways, and I also bought the full version of Super Anti-Spyware. I haven't seen anything out of it yet. I haven't seen any like warning threats, or nothing like that,
Right,
but
right.
I'm happy with it.
Oh, good.
Of course, we love Super Anti-Spyware, but
Of course.
okay. Also related to when I was looking around for that password cracker, it has something to do with this little section I want to call the things we overlook, the simple things we overlook.
Okay.
And I think that maybe NT offline registry hacker or registry editor
Yeah.
probably wasn't working on that Windows 7 machine also because of the same reason that I'm going to tell you about right now.
Okay.
Because of the SATA drive. I think that because it didn't recognize any installations of Windows on that drive.
Oh, that's
And,
right. That
and
thing's pretty old school. It doesn't have the SATA drivers. Well, maybe
yeah,
does a newer version of it have SATA drivers?
uh, I downloaded one not too long ago and I don't remember if that's the one I was using or not, but
Do you download it right to CD or you use like Ultimate Boot CD?
I have used it off of Ultimate Boot CD, but I have also downloaded the standalone.
Yeah. Okay.
Just
That
to
might
try to
that might be it. Hey, if it's that might be the solution right there.
That's why I had to resort to that PC login one.
Huh.
But anyways, so related to that, I had this computer that was right here and backing me up until 2 hours ago, and it had nothing but a little blank cursor when you turned it on, like no operating system, nothing, right?
Okay.
And so what happened was, I tried to, he wanted to install Windows XP. He had the valid key on the bottom. So I said, okay, well, I'll use one of my CDs to install it. But I don't have that many. I have, I think, maybe 3 or 4 with Service Pack 1, 2, and 3.
What kind of computer was it?
It was an HP. It was one of those weird numbers, like a 6510B.
Oh,
HP Compact it has the HP logo with a compact on the model number.
okay.
So yeah. So I tried installing Windows, and with a Service Pack 1 and Service Pack 2, which were professional, I didn't even get to the part where you actually get to say, I want to install Windows here. It would blue screen before it got to that part. So I was like, okay, it's kind of weird. I checked the RAM, and it did have one stick of bad RAM, which was the one underneath the keyboard. It had one underneath the keyboard on top of the motherboard, and one on the bottom by the bottom of the computer.
Right.
So I took that one off and just left the good one, 2 GB stick in there, and I ran another memory test, and that one came back clean.
Okay.
So I said, okay, well, maybe it was the memory. But after I did that, the Service Pack 1 and Service Pack 2 CDs still kept coming back with the error. And then I had another one with Service Pack 3, and these were all professional retail versions. They were not, OEM, and because his license key doesn't say OEM. So anyway, so I tried the third one, and that one comes back, no hard drive detected. So setup cannot continue. So I said, okay, wow. And this is where I lost the touch, when you just know what's going on. And it never occurred to me that the reason why maybe they weren't working was because it's a SATA drive.
Right.
And I thought, after I fumbled with it for many, many, many hours, I would say maybe 2 or 3 hours, trying different installations and everything, it got to me, and I said, you know what, Windows XP with Service Pack 3, it's new enough, so it should have SATA drivers in it. Right? But I didn't want to go through the whole slip streaming and all that, the drivers into a new CD and all that, because I haven't really learned how to do that, honestly. But so I thought, well, let me try a Windows Vista or Windows 7, and they installed fine. They went through perfectly fine, no errors, and hard drive was detected, and everything worked perfect. So I was thinking, okay, so it has to do with that. And then I remembered, you know what? Sometimes these computers, when you go to the BIOS, oh, that's another thing I did. I updated the BIOS to the latest version.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't work either. So then I remembered, and I said, you know what? Some of these computers in the BIOS, you can disable the AHCI for the SATA.
Yes.
Or, well, this one said it differently. It was like SATA native mode.
Mm-hmm.
So I put disable. And when I did that, that's when I was able to install the one with Service Pack 3. But I still could not install Service Pack 1 or 2.
Really? That's
so I was like,
I forgot about that fix. You're right. I don't know what the disadvantage is to doing that. Does it hurt the performance of your drive by disabling that?
To tell you the truth, I don't know. I really, maybe we would need to do some research on that, because I really don't know what the difference is. But in a computer that's 3-4 years old, I don't think you're going to see much of a difference.
I wouldn't think so either.
I mean, it's not like it's a Core i7 Devil like modern one.
Right, right.
So no, yeah, I don't know.
But that's right. I forgot about that fix. I mean, that especially happened. I remember in a lot of Dell desktops for me. You had to go in and change that setting in the BIOS, and it's worded differently in a lot of computers too. So, but it always has. You know what? When I was like kind of training my dad, I always told him, just look for the word SATA in the BIOS somewhere, and usually you find it through just looking like that. So, but at least your Service Pack 3 loaded.
That worked.
Good.
Oh, but I broke my head for a lot of hours, and I was like, oh, I've had it.
These are lessons that once you learn them, you just don't forget them. It all snowballs.
Yeah. And I think that's pretty much all. That's all I had for this show. I mean, I didn't have a lot, but I figured, I better just jump in anyway.
No, it's great. It's perfect. We don't have to do extensive shows. Whatever you guys want to bring, that's totally fine. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any emails. I don't think. Let me just double check. Hang on 1 second. Yeah. Let's see. Podnutz Daily emails, please. Gmail. My Gmail's held up. Yeah, no Podnutz Daily emails. Wow, guys. Need some more of them. Please send me them. Also, send me voicemails. If you want to call into the show, you dial 7076 Podnut. 7076 Podnut will get you onto the voicemail. And we've been getting voicemails for a lot of different shows, just not for Podnutz Daily. So we definitely need that. Look, guys, look, there's 3 things that if you sat down with me right now, face to face, and said, Steve, what do you need and what do you want? I would say, sign up to be a guest on Podnutz Daily at podnutz.com/guests. I would say, send emails to mail at Podnutz, and we'll read them on Podnutz Daily. And I would say, leave voicemails for Podnutz Daily. Once we have that balance going, the shows are really complete, you could say. And the questions you guys have that you ask me, I put them out there, and it helps everybody. So that would be great if you guys could start sending them in. I'm definitely open to that. Let me make one quick announcement, Jose, before we end off.
Sure.
The next Podnutz product, there might be another one before that. It depends on. See, Steve D's in town, so I might do something with him. I don't know yet. If that doesn't happen before this next product, the next Podnutz product is going to be something a little different, and it's going to be this. If you guys ever wanted to know how to podcast and do exactly what I do, down to the programs I use, the audio equipment I use, and recommend how I took Podnutz to where it is now, like I'm talking about like the secrets and like the marketing strategies that I use to build up the network to what it is. I'm going to be covering everything I know about podcasting. It's going to be a book and set, a DVD lecture set, or not lecture, DVD set with videos, and it's going to, or you could buy a downloadable version, but it's going to basically be A to Z, how to podcast, mind dump, everything that's in my mind out onto the book and DVD. So if you guys do want to know how to podcast and do it the way that you like the way Podnutz is going, I'm going to be covering everything, including the back end of the Podnutz website, the whole Drupal installation, how I upload shows. I mean, this is stuff that, I'm not tooting my own horn on this, but I'm just saying this is stuff that you can get from somebody on YouTube who says, I know how to podcast, here's how I do it, or from somebody who says, I am a podcaster, this is my site, here's what you're going to get. Like, look at this site. If you like what this site is, you can make a site like this and have more of an idea that you're going to get something more complete. That is what I'm offering to you guys. So if you are interested in it, because I'm doing a bit of a survey to see if there is any interest in the subject, go to howtopodcast.biz. howtopodcast.biz. Put your name, your email address, and your name in there. If you do, I will give you a discount on the product on release date. Otherwise, you got to pay full price. So that's the next Podnutz product. I thought that would be a fun thing to give you guys, just because I base the products we make off what questions you ask me, guys. Like, if I get a lot of demand on how to fix laptops, you're going to get laptop repair videos. If I get questions about how to make your own website, you're going to get the Tech Site Builder. I get lots of questions on how to podcast, so I'm going to show you how to podcast. Keep the questions coming, and it'll keep the shows good and the products relevant to what you guys want. Jose, thank you very much for doing the show, man. It's always a pleasure. You always have great content. You always explain it perfectly.
Oh, good. No problem. Hey, now that I was looking at one of the comments in the chat room,
yeah.
After talking about the SATA drivers and all that, after I installed Windows XP, the one that did install with Service Pack 3, I went back into the BIOS and switched it back to SATA mode, and it came up with that error again, even after it was already installed. So, something about that laptop doesn't like, Windows XP.
Really?
With the SATA drivers on. So I tried that because somebody mentioned, that he installed Vista, and then he turned it back on after Vista was installed, and he picked up the drivers. But I think Vista, since it was a little bit later on, maybe it does have them.
So, but you were keeping that off the whole time, and it worked fine with it off, right?
I installed it fine with it off, and after it was already, even though I didn't have the correct license key, so I was going to just do the 30-day whatever, for now. And I said, well, let me go turn on the SATA thing again. And as soon as I did that, it didn't even boot up. It came up with an error again right away.
There you go. A blue screen? Is it blue screen or?
Yeah, blue screen death error. 7B, I believe.
There you go. Good tip.
And sure. And you know what? Talking about your how to podcast videos or the product that you're gonna make, I think that's awesome. Because I want to learn a lot more about that. Like I said, I'm trying to do my own little show here, but I still got a lot to learn. So that I definitely want to get from you, and also I want to get the laptop repair videos. Hopefully after the new year. Even though I feel pretty confident, but I'm sure there's a lot more I can learn from you.
Yeah. Well, thanks. I'm definitely. I want to. I'm going to be doing another collection of them too. It's going to include netbooks and Macs and different things too. Some lot fees videos are going to be in there. Maybe I'll get Steve D to do a reflow in there. So we're going to have the second collection coming out too. So yeah.
Do you have the ones on DVD already or not yet?
Oh. Email me. I could get them to you. They are not released to the general public yet. They will be released very, very, very shortly. But I do have them ready to ship. So if you want one, let me know, and we could definitely do that.
All right.
Hey, thank you very much again, man. It was awesome.
Thank you.
And we will see Jose a little bit later. I'm going to ask him a question after the show. Don't go anywhere, Jose.
Okay.
And everybody who's watching, listening, streaming, thank you very much for tuning in to Podnutz Daily. We'll see you next time.